Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday morning's Messages of Love from Above. We'll be getting into the readings real quick here, but before we do that, I do want to send love out to the world. And if you'd like to join me in doing that, of course, I welcome that. Whether you're watching live or on replay, we can all join together and multiply this love out to the world. So, first, I'm going to take a big deep breath and just come back to right here, right now, in this moment. Just let all the cares of the outside world take care of themselves. We become a chalice of that unconditional love, allowing it to flow down into our hearts and to us, filling us up and then flowing out to the world. Circling the globe in a giant, giant ball of love energy, unconditional love, no conditions, eternal, allowing it to touch and spark each heart to remember who we really are. Powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love. It allows us to see the truths rooted in unconditional love and cut away the small t truths that are rooted in fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing a conditional love. And if you yourself are in need of unconditional love in this moment for your heart, your mind, your body, a situation, a relationship, for a loved one, whatever it may be, we send this love to you and surround you in this big ball of love. You can just take it in like a sponge or like a plant or a tree just takes in the sunlight from the sun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that and allowing me the space for that as well. And before we get in the readings, I do like to make sure everyone knows what I have available for free and other options. So, of course, 2 days left for until we have the drawing on Mondays. Mondays, I give away at least one personal recorded reading. This Monday, it'll be giving a 30-minute personal recorded reading. And on Tuesdays, I put out a video. This is the video I put out this last Tuesday, just announcing what I'm giving away, how you can get into the drawing, and any other giveaway news. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And then also right now, I'm having a crazy Zen summer sale with 50% off my Hedges of Peace and Love. Also, 50% off my personal recorded readings. That's all the information on there. And then if you want to book a reading or the hedge, here's the link. All this information is in the description box of the video as well, if you need to come back to that. And then each week, I also put out at least one pick a card reading. And this week's was How Can I Transform My Sadness? So I have that pick a card and a bunch of other pick a cards too. Sorry, there's a car going right there. Okay. In the spotlight. But there's a pick a card readings on my main channel too, a bunch. So if you ever need additional messages, they're all free as well. And then yesterday, I did put out a new Take 10 with Zen, which is a new series I started obviously 5 weeks ago, with this being episode 5. But it's a weekly video that's 10 minutes or less in content that talks about how we can connect to the higher realms, how we can connect to who we really are. And I also answer questions from my subscribers. So be sure to check it out. This one was all about what influences our fate. Last week was Does Fate Exist? And the week before that was Is Love Real? We looked into spirit guides one week, dimensions. So there's a lot of interesting content that comes through as I channel spirit to answer our questions. So be sure to check it out. And I think that is everything that I wanted to mention. So I'll get the desktop all set up here and we'll get into the readings. All right. And let me just take a quick screenshot here because YouTube's been acting a little funky here and deleting some chats. Let me just scroll up here. Um, when I pop it out, and sometimes they just kind of whoosh. So I don't want to miss anyone who has already quoted. Put anything out there. All right. So that is done. Let's pop out that chat. And if you are new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, first of all. We have a great soul family here full of wonderful, wonderful people with huge hearts and huge senses of humor. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. And how the free readings work is we do go down in order, first come, first serve down the list. The chat, there is no special list. The chat is the list. So you just put your question out there. And if you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for guidance or general reading. Spirit knows what you want. And then I move, like I said, move down in order, first come, first serve. But if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange, prioritize those readings, step out of the free readings, dive deeper into those, and then return back when I'm done and move down the list. You can make a donation by using the super chat at the bottom, also in the description box of the video and the pinned comment at the top of the chat. I have my Venmo, my Cash App, my PayPal, and my Square, so you can make a donation in any of those there. I don't look at the dollar amount. I know that everyone gives what they're able to give, and everyone's finances vary from day to day, person to person, to country, planet to planet. So I just know that whatever you're able to give, I know it's from your heart and what you're able to. Um, and for those of you who aren't able to donate, that's why I try to get through as many free readings as I can within about 2 hours or so that I'm on. You can give me a like on the video, though, if you're enjoying having free readings, because that's something free you can do. And it does help spread the Zen love so you can all be part of the love tsunami as well. So thank you guys for everyone who's done that. I think that is the skinny. I am having the Naked Heart Tarot and the Light Seers Tarot today. I'm going to start with the Light Seers Tarot. And I do have one donation, I believe. Yep. Hey, Patty, thank you so much for your donation. So we will start with you. And let's see what we got going on here. What factors can you consider when looking for a new place to move to this month? Will you find a good place? All right. Let's take a look here, see what Spirit recommends for your highest experience, and based on your current energies, will you find a good place? Let's take a look. Because our futures are always changing and a turning, right? All right. Right. So I like that you've got the Four Pentacles, which for me represents home. It's the four, like four walls on a on the outside world. So we've got the home represented here, which is what you're asking for. And you have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is this feeling of being left behind, of abandonment, of lack. So the energy that you can switch is, where are you focusing? If we're focusing on our fears that I'm not going to be able to find a place, that I'm not going to have it, then you will be locked out. I like that the energy is in your hands, though, because you get to decide, am I going to focus on gratitude? Because look at that face, is like holding on to home and feeling gratitude with it all. So I like this coming in here, um, because it is just a reminder of this focus of, instead of focusing on what you feel is missing, you're focused on gratitude for what will come in. And that Spirit is in control. It's not mankind that brings you everything. It's the creator that brings you everything you need in each moment, and you can trust them. Humans, when they get into fear mode, you can't trust them because they're all for themselves, right? So trust the creator and put your focus on there. Because you do have here, you've got the justice card here, which is balancing, seeing things from a higher perspective, cutting away your fears. Again, trusting here with the tower card that everything that happens in your life does happen for you. You know, things are removed out of your life on purpose, things are moved into your life on purpose, things are moved out of the way to open up what something that's more in alignment with, where your higher self wants you to go. So if I know when I was moving to northern Idaho and I was going to move like 2 hours or an hour away from my family up in this place and the way up close to almost the Canadian border, and everything fell through. Everything, oh, sorry, that's no longer available. Oh, sorry, that property, just went off the market. It was like everything I was reaching for ran away, and I ended up living like 10 minutes away from my family instead. And that's where my soul wanted me to be, not way up north. They wanted me right there. And so you just trust that doors close and doors open because there was like no apartments available too when I needed it. But there was one that opened up at the last moment, and it was the one I ended up in. It's beautiful. So you can trust that. Will you find a good place? You've got the Page of Cups, so there is definitely possibilities here if you raise your love vibration way up here that you will have that. So I like that. LA, you're funny. So we've got this, energy here of if you raise your love vibration and focus on gratitude, things will open up. Just trust that the perfect place will open up and that life doesn't happen to us, it does happen for us, and we are spared. Because I even had, maybe if you feel that that's what you want to do. I didn't, but because I hadn't been around my family and I was scared, I wanted distance, but it ended up being fine anyway. Um, because I lived everyone was doing their own thing and it wasn't like I was afraid it would be, so, it all works out. And even the apartment that I was going to move into, I wasn't hearing back from, and I had sent off this um cashier's check to hold a deposit, but, of course, I had it registered mail. Well, you could follow it, and no one was in the office. It went back to the post office. They tried delivering it twice, and no one was in the office of the apartment. I was doing all this from a distance, right? And I'm like, "Okay," and the phone mailbox was full. They weren't responding to my emails. They didn't send me the contract, whatever lease to sign, and they were supposed to do that, and I was moving, like, in 4 days, you know, a whole like, a day away from where I lived, and my family was all there, so I know I wouldn't be out on the streets or anything if it was, necessary, but that's when I was like, "Oh my gosh," and so, I called a one apartment complex. They're like, "No, they won't have anything." And I go, "Well, do you know anyone else?" They're like, "You might try our sister property in the little town next to us." And sure enough, there was one left. And I was like, "Oh my God." And it happened very, very, very fast. And so trust your heart, trust where you're being led, Patty. So that's what they have. So hang in there. It all will work out perfectly. Always does. So it may not always work out the way our mind was wanting it to, but it will work out perfectly. All right, Patty. So Excuse me, that's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. And Galatians G, you are up next. So, do see a date between Nicole and you. Let's take a look here and see where your energies are at and see what is going on here. And thank you for your donation. You're welcome, Patty. All right. What else? All right. Well, kind of it's to be determined. You've got you got the 2 of swords, which is, of course, indecision, or decision to be made, and it always kind of nudges us to close our eyes and open our hearts. If you close your eyes and open your heart, then this is, victory. It's being seen, so this is a yes. If we keep our eyes open in our thoughts, then our fears and our thoughts are supposed to be need to be have to be frustrations, like you're saying there. Frustrations all come in because our mind is trying to control everything, but our heart would tell us to do other things that our mind is kind of holding us to, right? Yeah, exactly. So, we follow the direction, we follow our heart and not our mind, and that's what brings us to things. So, when we have frustrations, when we have like thoughts of this isn't fair, and the lower vibrational energies that are rooted in fear, then we know that we're in our minds. And this is what we get. We get nightmares, we get insomnia, we get those things. So I feel like there is this, again, close your eyes, open your heart. Here's the high priestess, which is stepping into your intuition, stepping into your higher connection, um, and out of the human type of energy. And then there is this possibility of love and things there, right? Um, so you know you can tell the energy of yourself too, right? Because when you're in a space of unconditional love and connection because you're going with the flow. There's no frustration around timing. There's no like I said, there's no unfairness, and all the things that we feel when we're in fear, like when a little 2-year-old, I want my toy, throws a tantrum. We know we're in there, but when we're in the higher vibration, we're just going, all right, we have a wonderful flow. And that neither's right, neither's wrong, but you know where you're at, and you know that each brings us a different experience. And so if we are tired of feeling a certain lower vibrational experience, then that's when we, like the high priestess, we close our eyes and open our heart. We work on our self-love. And if there's ever a delay, what that means in the spirit world, when things slow down to a snail's crawl, right? We know that it's for us, and we can go, okay. Usually, when things are slowing down in our outside world, the reason it's happening is for us to work on our raising our love vibration, increasing our self love, because then we're doing our part. We can't change anyone else, and things slow down for us and for them to both work on our self love. Otherwise, we're going to do what we always did and get what we always got, which is nightmares and insomnia and those things. Yeah. As soon as I said that, I knew that's where you were going with that G. But so, this is about understanding your energy. You feel hers, but remember, she's a mirror too. And so you're like, oh, I feel like she's up in her head. You're like, oh, how am I up in my head? And then that's what comes in here. But there definitely is possibilities here. for a date, it's just about trusting the timing, closing your eyes, and opening your heart instead of, going after the supposed to, shoulds, need tos, have tos, musts, because that's frustrating. But we do come down here to experience all those lower vibrational emotions and energies, and there is no um, judgment in that. You know, it's just like just to know that when you're ready, you can choose differently or continue to enjoy the roller coaster, right? It's like, woohoo, one more time around. So that's what they have for you. Gee, you are very welcome. And thanks for your sense of humor and for your donation. Hang in there, hang in there. All right. Aprilia, thank you so much for your donation. Hey, beautiful soul. Right back at you. So does the child birther, how does she currently feel and think about you? Okay, let's take a look here and see what's going on here. And so we'll see what our current feelings and thoughts are about you. And then we're just going to see what's the purpose of feeling their strong energy as well. All right. Okay. Okay. So she's got a lot going on. Well, of course, we already know that, right? So we've got this page of wands, which is a lot of energy, just like this. Um, oh yeah, no problem at all. I'm just gonna blab everything that Spirit's saying, and then I will look down and see if you have any comments. That's generally what I do unless they tell me to look. So you got the magician and the page of wands. So she is very much about creating these new opportunities. She's has this um I don't know. You know, there's a little bit of guilt, a little bit of because she's wanting to move forward. She's wanting these new opportunities that are opening up. And she's got a lot of energy. I feel like, I knew that she was like a slow burning grass fire, if that makes sense, where she always is forward, forward, forward movement. She has these goals. She has this energy that there's something she has to reach in the future to be able to feel happy, to be able to feel full, to be able to feel whole. And that's what's been keeping her so almost unhealthily motivated and overworked and headed in direction, 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 direction. Well, she's turned into a huge grass fire where she just feels like things are falling away from her because things are falling away. There's friendships, relationships, job opportunities, different things are like she just sees the consumption of the fuel for the fire seems to be becoming smaller and smaller. And so she's burning more because she's like, I've got to move forward. There's got to be more out there. I got to get there. It just feels like this energy. And, the thoughts and feelings towards you is like, okay, I've lost you. And that was one of the things that I needed to have in my life with all these other 80 things on her long list. But it's almost like she's so consumed trying to, it's like trying to herd 80 cats. And it's like whatever cat she's trying to focus on, she gets one, she gets back, and the other cat has moved. And she's just trying to get them all in a row. And it's very difficult, right? For that to happen. And like, why are you feeling their energy? You know, you've got the 5 of Wands, so here's energy, this movement of energy that's flowing, and I feel like you still have this connection, emotional connection, and you're very intuitive, you're very connected with your inner spirit. So, you pick up on her emotions, you pick up on this firestorm that's going on within her. You have this higher love for yourself that you're working on, but there's also this energy of you still feel the bond, you still feel this connection, and you're picking up on her vibration. You're picking up on her energies that she's going through. Um, and and when we do that, whenever anyone that we care about is going through something, that Ace of Cups, we're able to the pain we feel in our heart, this tightness we feel in our heart, um, that can be taking us to fear in one way. You know the difference between the fear, feeling in your heart and your soul wanting to help someone. So it's not a fight or flight protective energy. It's my soul once has been activated and I want to help someone. The tightness we feel is that we feel like we can't. And so it's like a garden hose that's been turned on full blast, but the nozzle's turned off. You know how like the hose will become tighter and tighter as the pressure builds? That can be your heart too. And so you can send love energy. If we can't do anything in the physical world, usually us acting in the physical world is how the energy gets released in the action. But if we feel there's nothing we can do in the physical world, then we can meditate, we can see a light shine, we can send it to them. And that act of sending love to them, it's like, you know, doing the nozzle and it's like, psh, this big pressure goes and then it calms down. Then if we feel the pressure build back up, we can send more love. But I don't feel like this is meant to have you try to reconnect. I feel it's more this connection, this it's the it's almost like, um I don't know, like a phone. They're showing me phones like, when you're with someone, sometimes you share locations on your phone and you forget to turn it off. And now you still see where they're at and what they're doing and where they're going because I haven't disconnected that yet, you know. So I feel like we're headed towards the direction here of you moving forward. You have the Hierophant, the number 5, the number of change, but you are discovering your capital T truths. You're seeing things from a different perspective. You are able to, move forward, move into something more in alignment with your higher heart. You're really at this place of determining here in this maze of your life of who you want to be, what do you want to do truly. You got to put it truly in there. Who am I truly? Capital T truly. What do I capital T truly really want to do with my life? Where do I capital T truly want to live? There's this getting out of the head and trusting the connection to your higher heart to decide where you want to go and what you want to do. Because the grass fire is burning, and they are just. I don't feel like anytime soon they're going into this awareness of questioning these future I can only be happy when instead of I can be happy now. I don't feel like they're in a place where they can feel comfortable questioning that because they're at full blaze like a forest fire. So hopefully that makes sense, Aprilia, and you know, just allow yourself to go where your heart leads you um, upward and your higher heart, right? So that is what's coming in. Hopefully that helps, but hang in there. And again, thank you for your donation. And Mia, you are up next. Thank you for your donation. I am doing very well. I hope you're doing very well as well. And you want to ask the next positive actions of Felipe towards you. All right. I like that. I want to know the next positive actions. Keep it positive. Keep it positive. Let's see here. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. So we've got the Ace of Swords here and the King of Swords. So Felipe, obviously, I almost feel like they are a huge, air sign where they're a lot in their head here. I mean, he has the Ace of Swords here, and this is the Ace of Swords. Um, so a lot of thinking, a lot of overthinking, what they have here. So they're thinking about things, and I feel like, like, when's the next positive action? Well, they got a lot of thoughts. They got a lot of stuff going on here, and they got all this stuff, that's happening. Uh, so they're I feel like there will be eventual movement, which I'll talk about here in a sec. But you have the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So it's a time while you're waiting for them to act, it is time for you to focus on you and your self-love and growing that. Because that's a win-win-win-win. You know, we can never love anyone more than we love ourselves or receive love from others more than we love ourselves. And so as we expand our self love, then our ability to love and give love to humans also expands. So it's like while you're waiting, because we have the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. It's just there is emotion that's flowing that will be expressed because we do have the Page of Cups, so it will be expressed. It's just going to take a little bit of time for them to figure out how they want to do it. Because I feel like that's what, it's the overthinking. They want to do it. They have all these ideas of the right way to express love, the right way to do it, blah, blah, blah. Got to have all these things before that, all these prerequisites of things I have to have done and be prepared before I head that direction, before I really express it, blah, blah, blah. So they have a lot of this. Like I said, it's very organized of the steps that have to be taken, and they're very stubborn about it too. But you have the Wheel of Fortune here. And with the Wheel of Fortune, we do have this, um, this, everything. The Wheel of Fortune basically says whatever unfolds does unfold for us. Just sometimes our human has a little trouble jumping on board with, like, how is that for me, right? But the Wheel of Fortune, the wheel of the tune of for you, is really good here because it is that even your human will be happy when it eventually happens, of what is going on there. So I like it. Yeah, he will want to express it. This is, current energies, looking at the future. Like, they do want to express it, they're just trying to figure out how, and all this other stuff. So I feel like they are just a huge overthinker, kind of a perfectionist mentality, black or white, it's all or nothing, pass or fail. So they want to make sure that they don't fail. And so they're like, I got to have all the ducks in a row, got to do all this stuff. I've got to have this, this in place, this money, this job, this stuff, then love. And I feel like it's this long list there. Yeah, so that's what's going on right now, Mia. So eventually, but in the meantime, you can focus in on your self love, which is, a huge thing there. You are very welcome, dear. I love it. Many blessings, and thank you for your donation. All right, Aprilia, thank you so much. So I do see that you asked, you guessed that she won't communicate. And so, uh, does she still love you? Yeah, it's like I was just saying too. She has the her self-love is so limited based on I'll be able to love myself when, and so she doesn't have a huge capacity to give and receive love. So the amount of love that she does have love for you, but she's so consumed with, I've got to get to this point. It's like trying to speak to someone who's frantic and panicking, and they can't comprehend. They just can't. It's like mentally and emotionally confused. It's like, and I feel like when she's that way, she pours herself into her work, even more so, right? And then with work, thinning out here and there, it makes her panic even more because I don't want the train to catch up to me. It's like she's running on a railroad track with all these emotions that want to catch up to her. And she's like, oh no, I'm sprinting. And she's just like, go, 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 go. So I just feel like she's not in a place to be able to even click, if you know what I'm saying. And then you would like a romance and love reading for you now until the end of August. Absolutely. And thank you for your additional donation there. Let's take a look here and see what they have here. So love, love, love for you from now until the end of August. What does Spirit want you to know? Okay. That looks like a C. I was like, why are you putting the cards that way? Oh, that's a I. Okay. Like, well, cards are flying. CIX. I don't know what this is going to be. But I feel like I want to pull a mystic tarot oracle for you too. So let's take a look here. We'll get some clarity going here. All right. So I won't look at that yet. We'll see what this is going on here. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, the C that is popping up here. Here we go. So, your romance here is finding out who you truly want to be, truly, 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 truly. So the last card that we ended on is the first card in this reading. They're like, so this is your focus, and what helps with that because you have it was like a C, it was like this. They wanted it to be like that, and here's the two cards that kind of help formulate the C, which you have the 5 of cups and the 7 of cups. So it is working through these emotions, allowing yourself to feel the emotions and not suppress them. I feel like part of the truth is seeing the small t truths of the fears we had around, the lower vibrational emotional energies and the emotional confusion. And there's like this clarity the more that you understand who you truly are, what you truly want, it moves you from this into more of a choosing of what you want next instead of feeling like you're being drawn and like you're a puppet of your emotions that has to go a certain direction. With the other 5 here, because you got the 2 fives, with the major arcana 5, it's once you're up, then you understand, okay, it starts eliminating emotions that you don't want to feel, and you end up like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is truly who I want to be, what I want, where I want to go, what I want in my life. And so I feel like the love, you know, journey that you're on between now through the end of August is more internal than it is outside there. This is the Hierophant card. Um, and it's like an invitation to go higher to the capital T truths of the higher realm and see things there. So, oh, that's great. And then you have what's like an I, they had like this a giant dot. So C and then I. um, but it's seen, and maybe that's what they're saying. C. The Knight of Swords is movement of thought and belief. Again, seeing things from a higher perspective, capital T truths. And one of the things that you realize here is the Six of Pentacles. And I believe we might have talked about Six of Pentacles before because it is always coming up in a lot of relationship readings, which has to do with, when we look at this rate of receiving things in our life, how it goes back to our earlier childhood. And, it's this balance out of balance giving and receiving that we've developed in our lives. So if they've shared this before, repetition is how things change, right? Because I feel like they want me to mention it. Maybe it's more for than just you and me to reiterate. But when we're like 7 years old and younger, that's when our emotional body's being created, and that's when our rate of love exchange is put into play. And there's parents are the usual suspects because of how our society is, where parents have hardly any time. They're working. Sometimes they're both working. They're trying to make sure there's food on the table and that we have the house and the cars and relationships with friends and family and make sure all the children have attention and this and that. And they have like very little that they have so many cups to fill, they have very little to give to each cup. And so a little child that wants the love and attention from whoever this important person is in their life, whether it's parents or grandparents or coaches or teachers or whoever it is, we give 1,000 love coins to and we get one love coin back. And we're children, we don't know any better. We're just like, well, that seems fair. And so that rate of that way out of balance rate of exchange drops down into our subconscious. And while it's down there, yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll find true intimacy. But, this is what will help because we have this rate of exchange down below, and now our inner child has this chalk and a chalkboard, and it's doing the hatch marks, going, the 1,000 love coins that you're able to give. Once you give 1,000, then these forest fields drop and allow abundance and love and stuff in. But we immediately go back to zero, and so those forest fields come back up. So even though consciously we want love, we want intimacy, we want abundance, we want raises and jobs and all this opportunities, sometimes we feel like there's this forest field keeping it all away from us, and it's like it's crazy, right? And but our conscious mind doesn't get it because and we're only like 10% conscious, 90% subconscious. We got all the subconscious programs that are running down there, including this one. And the little inner child, the little, emotional inner child is the one that is at the control panel for these forest fields. And luckily, we're not stuck with that our entire lives. It's just we can, this is part of the looking at our thinking and bringing things from our subconscious, this out of balance giving and receiving into our consciousness, which we then just bring it up and we think about who is it that, I felt this out of balance emotional relationship with, or which people, right? And so, we look this, right? Yeah, it's amazing that what's down under in the subconscious. Because when we bring it to our consciousness and I'm like, "Okay, who is it that I felt that with?" And I'm like, "Okay, for me personally, it was my mom and my dad, usual suspects." And I'm like, "Okay." And when I saw them and I really meditated on it, I realized, like, my mom was the oldest of 10 children, and I know a little bit about, how she grew up and that, yeah, she had the same out of balance, attention as her mom and dad and as their mom and dad, it just was passed down from generation to generation. And then my dad, same thing, he had his own experiences with being, feeling abandoned, feeling left, and not getting attention, either. Like his mom had abandoned him to his grandma when his dad was away at war, and his dad came back and ended up marrying someone else, and they didn't want a stepchild, so his grandma ended up raising him. And I'm just when you look at their lives, I'm just like, you guys did the best you could. In fact, you did really, really well with what you had. And so you release them, you release the wrath, you pour out the pain, and then, we become a chalice where we can receive, right? So we pour out all that pain to make room, and we by forgiving, by releasing the wrath, right? And not forgetting what happened because we want to kind of maybe look at changing that. Narrative in our future, but we release them from all of that, and then a little edit button appears on that 1,000, and we delete, 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 get it, 1 to 1,000 changes to 1 to 100 to 1 to 10 to 1 to 1, and there's a save button, and we click it, and it drops down into our subconscious. And our little child self celebrates, and it breaks the chalk and throws it away and cracks the blackboard in half and throws that away. And hallelujah, I don't have to keep track of that 1,000 hatch marks anymore because now it's 1 to 1. That's when the forest fields drop, and that's when true abundance and love and everything is allowed in, and you see it kind of just flood in and rise into our lives, and you're just like, wow. So that's a big part of that coming in here, and again, you're going to see a difference here because you have the Page of Swords, which again is new thought, new belief, new mindset, a lot like the Knight here, with the change of the way you're looking at things. And the love you have had will, here's you bored with the love you've had in the past. It was empty, it wasn't fulfilling. And wing, here's the rainbow, the rainbow bowl of love, the Ace of Cups that comes in, which is this is the wave of all this love that comes, and it brings in this beautiful emotional stability and all that. So it's worth doing the reflection with all of this. And let's see what your tarot card is here. Yeah. Yeah. So here's the 8 of Swords, which is trapped in fear. And this is 8 is great. Here we come with more thoughts and beliefs. You had the Knight and the Page of Swords. So we have this movement of thought and belief and mindset. And with this change coming in, this helps releasing you from your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that may used to make you feel blinded and bound and trapped. And there's this freedom that comes with this change here too. And I'm going to read the oracle portion here. Maybe. Yeah, here we go. So this card reveals that it's actually your own fear that has you immobilized and trapped, preventing you from making decisions or choices. You are the one who's holding yourself prisoner or hostage. And in order to continue your journey, you must first face your fears so that new people and conditions can manifest. Kind of like what we were talking about. Many individuals choose to stay in this place because they can't see the road ahead. They feel a misguided sense of safety there, or they're afraid of starting something new. But staying will only add to your levels of stress and anxiety and create adverse effects in your physical body. So seek out wise counsel for assistance. You don't have to do this alone, but know that you possess all of the tools that you need to free yourself. You're forgetting how strong you really are. And this period will end when you use your mind to cut through the limitations caused by your emotions. Yeah, right? Isn't that great? Learning how to do dating where we don't take the U-Haul, to the first date. I used to move so fast in relationships. It was crazy. Yeah, I like it. Boom, boom, boom. So it start with dating yourself, right? That's the biggest thing because that's where the freedom happens, and then that's where you're able to, not do what we've always did and end up with those empty cups, but that we change things and we're raising our love vibration and we draw in new experiences. So I like it for you, Aprilia. That is what they have for you right now. So many blessings and enjoy the journey. All righty. So I think that is all of my donations right now. So thank you guys so much. All the donations help me be able to offer these for free. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on here because I would be exhausted like the rest of you that have full time jobs. Couldn't do this and that. I'd be on here very limited. So thank you guys so much. And I'm happy to be able to offer free readings. Which will start with LA. Hello, hello, LA. So, what does ML think of you since you reached out. Let's take a look here. So I like it. They're seeing you here differently. They're they're kind of surprised to see you with more peace of mind. Like they just see a calmness around you. They don't feel like you're um looking everywhere like there's not fear, there's not um like thoughts scattered in so many things. It they feel like this hope within you here with the 9 of cups. You kind of have this calmness around your wishes coming true. So it's like this calm joy that you have. And they're like, wow, that's really, you're different, and they notice it, which is very beautiful because it, excuse me, it shows how you have transformed your thoughts and beliefs and your emotions and how things have changed. And we don't realize how much we change until you haven't seen someone in a few months or years. And they're just like, whoa, who are you? In a positive way. So I like that for you, LA. I think they thought you were a nutcase before. Because that's kind of the feeling of scattered, like, not scatterbrained, but that you're just, when we're in fear, we do act we all act crazy, we all act out of our minds, literally, because 'cause we're little children, right? But, that's everyone, because people, you're like, "I have a whole list of people," it's like, "Oh, okay, I get it," and it's like, "Okay." Um, but when we when we come out of fear, then that intelligent, loving, compassionate side of us comes in. So that's what I feel like the last time they were around you probably had so much going on that you were just torn in all these different directions and feeling in fight or flight mode, right? And feeling like you had to protect yourself. Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like now you're in this because 'cause you're understanding what I focus on grows, and I'm letting the stuff go. What do I have to fear? I feel like you've really dealt with core things in your life where you've been releasing yourself from your little, like this card that we just had for Pilia, you've released yourself from this prison before, so I feel like you're more free. And spirit is adding in, other people's thoughts of us also have to do with what we're a mirror, remember? So if they thought you were, how did you say it? A nutcase, then obviously, um, you know, what they're seeing in the mirror tells you a lot about how they see themselves. So if someone says, "I think you're this," you're like, "Oh, you think that about yourself? Wow, okay," because that's really what they're seeing, right? So whenever we're asking how other people think of us, always take it with a grain of salt, because we're a mirror and they only can recognize in what they think they see in us because it's in them, right? It's the old child thing. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. But that's what there's really so much truth in that. We just don't realize it. All right, but that's what they have for you, LA. So I like it. I like it. I feel like there's changing because they're changing, but this is the energy that you're putting off. All right. So lovely, lovey. You are up next. Good morning to you and anything that spirit wants you to know. All right, let's take a look here and see what's going on here. Okay. All right. Well, I like this justice that's coming in here for you and the King of Pentacles. I feel like whatever this, I almost feel like there's legal stuff happening here for you. And I feel like you're going to be getting a settlement or you're going to feel good about the outcome here. if there is something along those lines, because there is this energy around that of, beautiful reflections, beautiful things coming in, and understanding that the reason why we go through things like that, that it helps us understand, see things from a higher perspective, face our fears, and, like I said, with this beautiful reflection, we're able to see, it opens our eyes to things, and we're able to see things a bit more clearly. But I like the abundance. I like how we're seeing your worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. If you look at where you were at the start of something and where this thing is ending, you realize how much you've grown through all of that to get to that point, as well. So there is this wonderful calm, like how they're calm here. They're both very calm, very serene. And I feel like in the beginning, heck no, but now it's like the self-awareness is so huge, having gone through it all. The fears that have come up, the judgments, and all those things have really helped transform your perception of other things in your life too. So I feel like it was, a good journey that has been unfolding through whatever this changing of things. Serenity now, George from Seinfeld. You're so funny. So that's what's coming in for you right now, lovely, lovey. So many blessings to you. Let's take a look here. Okay. So make sure that wasn't a donation coming in. All right. And so, Cheery, you are up next. So you tried to convince your inner child something related to one of a popular human opinions was not true, and that you need to let go of it. And you wonder if your inner child got it. If not, what can you do? All right, let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know here. All right. So I feel here with the Seven of Wands and the Page of Wands here that they see it. I feel like they're in this protective bubble. I feel like this is your inner child, and here's you, you know, trying to show them this is how you let go. This is how you let go. And it's almost like a little kid who's like, mm-mm, I don't want to, um, which is interesting. But you're showing them the energy. You're showing them how. But I feel like what you can do, it depends on which inner child that we're trying to convince, right? Because if it's an emotional thing that we're wanting them to release, which is our emotional inner child, the 7 years old and younger, trying to convince them with mental stuff, they don't understand. They don't speak mind, they speak heart. And with our inner child, how we allow them to let things go emotionally as we hold them. We create the space for them to feel the emotion. We don't try to explain it away, or do anything. We just hold them in a place of unconditional love and acceptance, unconditional time. Whatever that little child wanted to feel, we give them that emotion. We give them that feeling of safety and protection, and we allow them to release. If you try to explain, it's like trying to explain something to a 2-year-old, and you're using, trying to teach them chemistry or something. They're just like, "Can I go play?" you know? So it's the emotional. And if it's a mental thing, like something 7 to 14, then it's mentally trying to explain it to him, right? So, I feel like they were kinda like they saw you, "This is how you release. Look, this is how you release." And they're just, like, giggling at you and laughing like you're trying to entertain them. And it's like, "Okay, let me just pick you up, and I'll give you the space to release emotion." So, I feel like that is something they want you to know right now that'll help with other things too. But that's what's coming in for you, Cherry. So many blessings to you. What? You're very welcome, lovey. All right. And so up next, we've got Divinely Protected. Hello, hello. Advice from deck two from your guides. Absolutely. So deck two actually is the higher self oracle. So let's take a look here and see what they have here. All right. Boundaries. Dun dun dun. Let's see what they bring in with this for you. So it says, love yourself. This is from Anna Taylor, by the way. It's a quote from them. It says, love yourself enough to set boundaries. Your time and energy are precious. You get to choose how to use it. And you teach people how to treat you by deciding what you will and won't accept. Powerful. I like it. And it says this card is asking that you set boundaries for yourself. Your health, your abundance, goals, and mindset are being affected by your personal relationships. If you find yourself feeling drained while spending time with friends, then it's time to reassess those relationships. These situations call for honesty. Are you always the one giving and not receiving? Are you spending an excessive amount of time listening to their problems? If so, then these are unbalanced relationships and require open and honest communication between both parties to bring the friendship back into balance. If you're being unnecessarily pulled into the drama of others, then this card is a sign to set clear boundaries. It is all right to assist your friends with solving a problem, but it is not your responsibility to solve it for them. By doing so, you pull yourself away from your own path. If you've been trying to reach a goal and find that close friends are distracting you or are affecting your ability to achieve it, then love yourself enough to remove the distractions without guilt. Your dreams are just as important as everyone else's. Make sure to prioritize your own goals and dreams and honor your own time by doing what you love. And by drawing this card, it is a reminder to set up healthful boundaries, since this is a sign of self love and self respect. By standing up for yourself and speaking your truth, even if you risk friction and hostility, you will feel empowered. And others will respect you for being decisive and confident. I like it. Look out, world. Look out. But that is great. I love that awareness that is coming in there for you. So that's what advice your guides have for you right now. So thank you, Divinely Protected. And up next, we've got wisdom words. Who is manifesting you? Let's take a look here. See, what does Spirit want you to know? Well, well, well. You've got definitely an important relationship, if not romantic. It's definitely like best friends, reconnected with an important family member, but it is a very important connection with another individual. And you got the Wheel of Fortune, which is things moving forward. I feel like it's going to be happening here pretty fast because when the wheel starts to turn, usually means things speed up here for you. So this will be that even your human side feels that this is fortunate what's unfolding here because the wheel of fortune is the tune of for you. And of course, everything unfolds for us, but this means even our human side's on board with whatever this is that's unfolding and coming towards you. So there is an important friendship relationship. Like I said, it can be romantic, it doesn't have to be, but it's definitely headed your way here and arriving very, very soon. So that is what they have there for you. So many blessings to you. Well, thank you, Cherry. Yeah, it's amazing, right? The hidden things, the hidden. um, I usually just say that I've learned to shut up and listen. That has been the only thing that I can claim in my life. The rest of the wisdom, I'm like, "That's not me." It's like when you learn to access the internet, you have access to so much. That's like when I learned to shut up and listen, that's how we access the spirit world. I turn down the fear noise, and then you turn up your higher vibration, and that's the frequency at which spirit speaks, so we can hear more clearly. Because I know if I'm not perfect. I have times where I get sucked out into fear. It's just a lot less than I used to in my life. It's definitely not like 99 to 1%, maybe 98 and 2. No, not even that. But that's what how you do it. I love it. All right. So, Grace, you are up next. So, you'd like the month of August. What does Spirit want you to know about the month of August? Just gonna take a sip here. My coffee looked weird. Oh no, I'm gonna start seeing visions in coffee. Oh no. It's your fault, Cherry. You have activated something now. All right. So, Grace, your month of August here. I like this because you have the 10 of swords, which this is like swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, expectations, all of that stuff. And the 10 of swords is a great one. Usually it's someone laying down with all the swords stuck in their back. So I like this interpretation too, because, it shows us all the thoughts in our head that are distracting us from enjoying the beauty of all of this that's here. Like if we're able to cover them all up, it's a much more serene, type of picture. And the 10 of swords is endings and new beginnings. It's like I'm sick and tired of trying to live up to all these expectations. It's exhausting. I'm not going to do it anymore. So you're releasing a lot of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets around different things in your life, which allow the 6 of pentacles to come in. There's this balancing of your thoughts and beliefs around your ability to receive. And so you are looking into your fears that you have from earlier in life around what is limiting you, what is keeping you from being able to, see that, allow those things to come into your life. I think it is this yesterday's Take 10 was Zen really goes into the 6 of Pentacles. So I won't repeat it here. If you want, it's like a short video. If you want to check that out, I posted it at the beginning here, and if not on my main playlist, it's out there. The Take 10 was Zen. So it's has to do with fate and how things that impact fate. One of those things is our out of balance belief of giving and receiving. I talked about it a little bit earlier here too, on someone's reading, but check that out because it does help release things and it has the ability to open up and to allow these force fields to drop to allow abundance and love and other things to come in as well. So that's what they have for you, Grace. So many blessings to you. And then Pinky, you'll be up next for the next free reading, but I do have a donation. Thank you so much, Cheery. So you want to know, oh, it's the other child, mental child. How do you convince them? How long does it take to convince a mental child? Because I'm also, it's interesting because a lot of our thoughts are created from an emotional experience, but when the mind creates all the rules, the protection around it, that's what comes in. I'm going to pull cards here too, but I like this question because it really shows us that our mindsets at the very, very root of it have an emotion attached to it. Like one emotion can have 1,000 thoughts. But when our mental body starts being created around age 7, it shoves the emotional child self. It's like it becomes the evil twin. And it's like, we cannot have you being emotionally expressive because you're going to get us in trouble. I need to push you down into the cellar. And then it pushes it into the subconscious and it becomes the ruler of the subconscious world. But all of the when it feels an emotion that it doesn't like, the mental child, 7 through 14, it creates, like I said, defense mechanisms. Or so that's like if it feels pain and punishment, it creates all these thoughts to make sure I don't feel that way again. Then we feel it again in a different way, more thoughts. And then if we get rewarded and we get praise and we have things and we feel good about things, it creates all these roles to try to make that happen again. And then we feel good in another way. So all of these thoughts, our whole little thoughts and beliefs and mindsets are fear of losing praise and good, feeling good, and fear of being punished again. And so at the root of all of the stuff is, this energy of fear. And so, how we convince a mental child to let things go is to help it feel safe. It's to calmly help them question. And a mental child, we provide logic, higher logic, capital T truths to it. And then it's like, oh, and then it will let the other stuff go, realizing and seeing it for the lies that they are. So we show it just telling our mental child this is a lie. They're like, I'm not letting it go. I have to have something to replace it. I can't have that empty space in my head. So we give it a capital T truth, and it goes, oh yeah, that's not good, and it puts it and replaces it. So I like that. Let's see what they have here. Yeah. So we do have, of course, seeing things from a higher perspective, a higher love. So we give it knowledge, we give it capital T truths that are rooted in unconditional love. So we give it something that is more true instead of an opinion that's rooted in fear. And they're like, yeah, I will take it. And we can bring in, I like this. I love this information that's coming through, Cherry. Thank you so much for asking this, because here's that inner emotional child we were just talking about, right, in your previous reading. And the Queen of Cups is the ruler over emotion that allows us to dive deep. And it's like it's um it's like you deal with the root, so it's almost like you also drop down while you're convincing the mental about the mind, all the rules that it put around not feeling that emotion again. We also drop down, and it's like you deal with both children, both twins. You deal with the emotional piece and the mental piece. But the emotional piece is like, um how we pick them up with the Queen of Cups and nurture them, and then the mental one, we explain to them all this. And then, at the same time, they see us going, "Oh, so you're down there taking care of that emotion down there? Okay, well, good." And it's kinda like this, you have to deal with both twins, and I like that. And here's the Chariot, the movement, the victory, but the power of emotional choice too. One of the things that helps all of us, all of the sides of us, is that we are the ones that get to choose the story, the emotion, the energy, and our actions. And I feel like one of the biggest things that you go in with this energy knowing that I'm the one that gets to choose it. I'm not like my emotional children are not ruling. Um, they are just a part of us, but we are the ones that hold the power, like our true decision maker. They just are the ones that are on, while we're on autopilot, they're the ones in control, the mind and the emotion, right? But when we step into our power, realizing, oh, every moment is a choice and I'm the chooser, the mental body and the emotional body are not the choosers. They're just almost like employees in a family business. They're just our twin children that are running things until we teach them differently. And but we're the choosers, we're the empowered ones. So I like it, Cheery. Great information. I haven't had that before. So I learned something new today. I really like that. All right. And again, thank you so much for your donation as well. Got it. Got it. Thank you, lovely lovey. Appreciate you. Thank you for telling me that. I don't know. That'll be another question, right? Are there other children besides the mental and the emotional body? We have our physical body, um, but I feel like that might get into muscle memories and storing emotions in our muscles. I don't know. We're like, oh my gosh. Overall, we are children in comparison to the creator anyway, right? All right. So thank you, Cherry. So Pinky, you are up next for the next free reading. And you like guidance for your love life. Let's take a look here. Yeah, you've got here the Four of Pentacles, which is this feeling of home that's coming in here, in a way. Also about feeling stability within yourself. We got the Six of Cups, which we'll talk about here in a sec. But the Four of Pentacles is this journey that you're on with love of discovering that the love that we're really looking for, we find within ourselves here. It's like we're in this search for a 10-course meal with two desserts. And, there's this um, buffet of desserts in front of us in the outside world that doesn't have anything except desserts. But we're looking for nourishment for our heart, and all we have is desserts, which don't have a whole lot of nourishment in them. They give us very little. We can't survive on it. Eventually, we're starving for true nutritional love that we can only find in our own heart. Inward and upward is where we find the 10-course meal with the two desserts. So eventually, because we're taught, well, this outside world dessert bar is going to fill you up, which relationships with humans, jobs, education, circumstances that we get in, things like our bank accounts, our bodies, our possessions. These things are going to fill you up. They're all desserts. That's third dessert, fourth dessert, fifth dessert, sixth dessert. We can always make room for more dessert, right? But when we realize that that can't fulfill us, we turn inward and upward. We find this fullness. We're like, there it is. We just no, 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 no. We eat all the 10 courses and we have the two desserts. It doesn't mean that we no longer are interested in the outside world, because like I said, we can always make room for more dessert, but it's no longer like we're not looking for it for fulfillment. We're finding that on the inside. So rather than the world feeling like it's lacking and falling short, it transforms into feeling like abundance and extra. And we're not as desperate or scared if someone withdraws seventh dessert from us. We're like, it's okay, I was full. Go ahead, you can. I'm not impacted by you not giving me seventh dessert because you're full on the inside. So I feel like part of your love life, your guidance is finding this wholeness inside, because you stop needing love on the outside and then it just becomes a want. But you find fullness instead. And the 6 of cups, I've been getting a lot of these lately. The earth is moving into a higher vibration, and there's this 6 of cups is like, it's nostalgia, it's old people in our past coming back and etc. But there's been this strong energy that we've got a lot of our in our subconscious, which we're 10% conscious and 90% subconscious and unconscious, is where our past lives and our other lives are. And there's been this activation of a lot of this memories and connection of this energy to past lives. And part of what's happening here is you're going to be bumping into at least one person that you just feel this connection to for no reason. And you're like, I feel like I know you from somewhere. I'm not trying to pick you up. I just feel like I know you from somewhere. They're like, "I know, I feel like I know you too. Where'd you go to school? Where do you work? What did you have? Where did you live? Blah, 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 blah." You can't find any commonalities in this lifetime because it's from other lifetimes. So you have this connection. I don't know if it's gonna be romantic or not, or if it's just like a new friendship, but it does feel like bumping into a best friend that you've known before, and there's a wonderful connection that comes into. So that's what's coming in for you, Pinky, and that's what they have for right now. So many blessings to you. And we'll continue moving down the list here. All right. And Kevin Trabuin, you will be the next free reading up, but I do have a donation. Let me scroll, scroll, scroll. All right. Thank you, Divinely Protected, for your donation. Yes or no? Number one card. One card from numerology deck. Okay, absolutely. And tarot. All right. So yes or no. Well, I still have the yes or no deck from yesterday if you want that. I left it out. All right. So here's your numerology. So you've got love, partnership coming in here. Card number 26. And let's see what that comes in here. And then we'll pull some tarot. Right. Woohoo. So this card indicates a time when a romantic relationship is about to enter your life. So if that's what you were wondering about, that is a yes. Perhaps you're single and are about to meet a special someone. Or maybe your current relationship is about to progress to a deeper level of understanding and commitment. Either way, love is just around the corner, provided you believe. Ooh, you have to believe. In the meantime, you're being encouraged to focus on what you have to offer rather than what you'd like to receive. By doing so, you will attract a mutually loving relationship that serves both parties' needs. Remember, you must believe that love exists in order to attract it into your life. Wow, that's deep. So, work on any limiting beliefs or negative thoughts you may have about love. So, in order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that are leading you toward a romantic love relationship. So, love and appreciate yourself as you are today. Embrace any perceived imperfections and be assured that you are worthy of love. Your loved one will appear when you know without a doubt that you are lovable and deserving. The affirmation is I don't know how, I don't know when, but love is on its way. So letting go of the how and the when, right? I think we talk about that. And then I'm going to switch up to the Naked Heart Tarot since we moved into love here. Let's see what else they have here for you. Okay. What else? Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Well, these cards showed themselves first. They're not the first ones that came out, but you definitely have the Six of Swords, which is movement of thought and belief, and the Sun card, victory, sunshininess, Leo energy, fiery energy, shining bright lights, on your life here. Six of Swords can be movement in the outside world. Of course, we're talking about love relationship here. So if you wanted a yes or no, this is a yes coming in with those cards too. uh, Ace of Cups. I think I think this means new love, higher love. And they have the High Priestess card. So the High Priestess, trust in your gut, trust in your instinct, stepping back into your High Priestess temple, connecting up, connecting behind the veil, diving deep into your, emotions. The Sun card here, of course, too, is the inner child and diving deep into there too, shining light into the unknown, into the hidden. So, of course, there's always, like it talked about focusing on what of those beliefs and those mindsets that were standing in between you and feeling like you deserve love, like it talked about, for the card here. I feel like that is what those cards bring in as well there. So overall, though, I feel like this is a positive, positive yes coming in here for you. So yeah, exciting for sure, right? So that's what they have for you, divinely protected. I like it. I like it. I like it. So again, thank you so much for your donation. Appreciate that. All right. And that is what they have. So we'll move back up, scroll, scroll, scroll. And so, Kevin, I am doing well. I hope you're doing well as well with your little waving hand. How um, can you approach, because there's no shoulds, for your highest experience, how can you approach akshat for a long lasting connection? You haven't talked to each other yet, but you want a connection to last. All right, let's take a look here and see what advice does spirit have here for you. Okay, what else? Anything else? All right. Yeah, with these here, the a long-lasting connection starts with a long-lasting connection with yourself, with how you perceive your worth. The 9 of Pentacles, the Hermit's journey, and here's Spirit. And this is about you having this transformative way of looking at your worth. And I like it because this is independence. It's like it's almost saying that the way that we have a strongest connection with others is when it depends on the strong connection we have with ourself. Because if I'm disconnected from my self-love, I'm going to be disconnected for love in the outside world. If I don't have a clear communication within myself, then I'm not going to have a clear communication in the outside world, because we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So if I'm at peace, I see a peaceful world. If I have self-love, I see a loving world and I experience love in the outside world. The Four of Pentacles we talked about a little bit ago here today, which does talk about our foundation of our worth when we define ourselves by the outside world, which we are taught, of course, usually unless you're adopted by a Buddhist monastery when you're a baby, we are all taught to live and define ourselves by relationships, situations, and things. And when we do that, we feel unstable. Our worth feels unstable because all those things are unstable, right? Relationships with people, with humans, people change, people pass away, people walk away. Unstable, right? We try to define our worth by situations like job, education, circumstantial stuff. But things are always changing, very unstable, right? And then things, our bodies, our bank accounts, money, all of that, possessions, blow up, burn down, deteriorate, stolen, whatever. They're all unstable. Eventually, we're like, I'm just tired of feeling unstable. I'm tired. I'm bored with this instability. Well, then we turn inward and upward. And that's where, with the Nine of Pentacles, we're finding this beautiful, only stable thing in our life, which is eternal, unconditional love from up above. That becomes the foundation of our worth and our stability. Eternal, never ends. That's pretty stable, right? Unconditional, nothing I can do to lose it, nothing I have to do to gain it. It's just mine. Beautiful stability, the only stable thing in this entire realm. And then we become stable in that, then everything on the outside world is just above and beyond extra. And that's where the stability, the long lasting connection happens, because it's not volatile, it's not unstable. We have our stability, and then we're able to maintain connection because we are stable, even though the outside world is crazy, cray cray, right? So I feel like this is the message for you right now, and this is how you can approach them is with your inner love and confidence without expectations that your interactions with them define you. There's no pressure. And when we aren't expecting them to be something for us, we allow them to be who they are. And that is a strong connection because otherwise you're looking at the world and it's constantly falling short, not bringing you what you're looking for on the inside, which is stability, right? You allow them to be who they are. We celebrate who they are instead of focusing on who they're not. That's what destroys relationships and friendships and any connection is when we have these all these expectations that they're constantly not able to, if this is who they are, and we have these expectations, if they hit it every once in a while, like, "Oh, yay, you're meeting my expectations." "Oh, you're not." "Yay, no, not. Yay, not." We live in disappointment. We live in things falling short. But when we take these expectations, we don't expect them to fulfill us. We bring that down to zero because we're finding that on the inside. All of this is abundance, and we live a life of abundance. Our relationships feel abundant. People enjoy feeling gratitude for who they are instead of being told, you know what, you didn't do today. Right. Right. But that's what they have for you, Kevin. So hopefully that is helpful. So many blessings to you. All right. Why are you acting up? Come on. Okay. Mouse gone wild. All right. There we go. So many, many blessings. All right. And spiritual love, you are up next. I'm just going to take a sip here. All right. So you want to know Pisces feelings and next actions towards you. All right. What else? All right. Well, I do like this here. We've got the Pisces has this new birth, this nurturing energy, creativity that comes in with this innocence of pentacles, page of pentacles, which is new opportunity. So you got this newness coming in here. They have this nurturing feel, this sensuality in a way too, right? Because the Empress is all about, freedom from expectations. Um, but it is this, sensual connection that comes in with it too. And the, Innocence of Pentacles does open, opportunities coming up here. So I feel like they are going to express this, and there's an opportunity that's coming up where they share this, and intimacy can mean a variety of different things, but it is this new birth, this new it's just very nurturing, you know, mother nature, mother nurture type of energy, just very caring, but it also can flow over into touchy, touchy, feely, feely kind of energy as well. So I feel like this is coming your way. And, with it being a major arcana of with the Empress, I feel like it is coming soon, sooner than later, of course. So I like it for you. All right. And that's what they have for you, spiritual love. So many blessings to you. And Angel Bliss, you are up next. So, how do you deal with toxic work environment at your workplace? All right. Let's see what they have here for you. All right. Well, we got workplace here. Here's the Eight of Pentacles. And then I put her back in, she came right back out. The nurturing here. Now, I feel like this represents work and the work that you're putting in at work, but how we deal with toxic environments. One, we um begin to focus on, this is mother nature, mother nurture. We start focusing on what I enjoy about my work. So our energy, we talk about it all the time here on this channel because it comes through such a powerful awareness of our power, is that whatever I focus on grows. So if I focus on my workplace is toxic, I'm telling the universe, I really enjoy a toxic work environment. Can you make it more toxic? Can you? Can you extend it and make it toxic for longer?" And the universe is like, "Yeah, whatever you point at." It's like a little child going in a bakery and look in that little glass counter at the donuts, and they're pointing at this donut over and over and over again. And so the baker loads up a dozen of them, goes, "Oh, here you go." And they're like, "I hate that. Why are you giving me a dozen of it?" Well, it's because of what you're pointing at. And the baker goes, "Well, how about you point at what you love and I'll give you a dozen of that instead?" So we focus on what we love about work. What do I enjoy about the work environment? Um, and there's, it's, finding something that we can focus on, about gratitude. I'm grateful for this at my work. Then we're telling the universe, I'm great. I enjoy being grateful for things at my job. Can you bring me more things to be grateful for at my job? They're like, yeah, yeah, because we're pointing at what we love. We get a dozen of those. And then more comes in and more comes in. And the toxic things fall away because I'm not focusing on them. I'm focusing on what I do want, not what I don't want. Because if we focus on what we hate, we're telling the universe, I enjoy hating stuff. Bring me more things to hate, please. And they will. So there is that piece of it, and realizing whatever we focus on grows, like attracts like, but also when we realize that work just happens. People and things in the outside world, and I was very surprised to be told this from spirit, that there's nothing toxic out there. And I'm like, but look at all that. And they're like, it just is. Um, because you see the world as you are, not as it is. And I'm like, are you saying I'm toxic? And they're like, well, the thoughts you're having about the situation are toxic. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's an interesting concept. Let me ponder that. And it's true because we're taught that, we have power, right? Any moment I'm choosing what story I put to anything. And so I've been taught that when this happens, it's toxic. So it happens, I believe it's toxic. Instead of, I can see it from a different point of view. I can see it differently. So when, whatever is happening, whatever definition I'm putting on it is like, well, people get angry and people treat people poorly and da 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 da, and that's why I think it's toxic. They don't respect people. They don't reward people. They promote people who don't deserve it. Everything that everyone's going, yeah, yeah, exactly. This is all that jobs we hate. Well, when we realize, oh, this is a mirror for me to see, why does that bother me? What am I defining myself by it? What am I fearing? When we use it as a mirror for us to see what we are, what's going on inside of us, instead of us judging everything that's going out there, we don't judge ourselves either. We turn inward and go, okay, why is this bothering me? What am I fearing? This is the work that we do. We review it, we look at it, we do our inner work, and then life changes, things start to move, things start to flow. We have new harvest, new birth that comes in. Things move up in the job, or we move out of the job and move into a new one because we've changed and we realized, I feel this is a toxic environment because I don't want to be here. I want to be doing something else, but there's this awareness that comes in when we realize that the work environment just is, but the toxic thing that's happening has to do with the story and the mindset and my fears. And so I can transform the work environment by looking at why am I toxic? Because we see the world as we are. And so we can look at and go, okay, why was I wanting this to happen for me? This work environment isn't happening to me. I have chosen for this to draw into my life so I can see it. One, is my energy growing it? Two, what am I able to change within me to change my environment? And so hopefully that helps Angel Bliss because it helped me. But I love that knowledge. So that's what they have. So many blessings to you. And Alina Purple, you are up next. You'd like to know if your Aquarius crush has romantic feelings for you. All right. And what are they? Well, let's take a look here. And yeah, Spirit knows who you are, so I don't need to know your real names. Because Spirit knows all. Let's take a look here. All right. So, do they have romantic feelings? Well, you know, realizing being an Aquarius, so no offense, and Aquarians won't be offended by this. Aquarians are, even though they're water bearers, they're air signs, we think a lot. So feelings, meh, emotions are there. They're just not usually expressed. It's more thinking, thinking, thinking. Their thoughts of you here are that they see you as someone who is very independent, and um it's almost like you don't need anyone, is their perception, is like, wow, they're very self-sufficient. That's like this, it sounds very Spock, right? Very very logical. Huh, they seem very self-sufficient. Very good, you know. I do feel like here that there is some things coming here. The Wheel of Fortune tells you that things with the 10 endings and beginnings, things are about to turn here for you, where even your human self is going to feel that it's fortunate of things that come forward here. Now, I don't necessarily feel that this means that they were that this, you have a crush on them, and that they, because I don't feel like there's romantic feelings. I feel like there's thoughts of, wow, you're independent. Wow, you're self sufficient. I don't feel like there's this emotional draw. So, with the Wheel of Fortune changing in it, your human feeling that it's fortunate, the tune of for you, right? That it necessarily means that this crush expresses things to you. I feel like whatever changes, I feel like you have a new crush more so. I feel like you more um, realize, oh, wow. And there's this mutual attraction between you and someone else. I feel like this Aquarius, that you have this crush, but I just feel like it's someone else, and that you're okay with it because you're like, oh, this person is showing you the feelings and the mutual attraction. And so it ends up being like, oh, yeah. It's like, who? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember them. But you're like, but this one, so I feel like it almost feels like an upgrade for you that you end up with, and that's why you're okay with it. So I feel like that's more what's coming in, Alina. So that's what's coming through. So many blessings to you. Enjoy your adventure. Yeah, you have a new crush coming in that has a crush on you too. Mutual crush is much better than a one-sided crush, right? Boom. All right. Yeah, Libra girl, you are up next. So is he planning anything for you? Let's take a look here. We're going to be moving into one card readings for the free readings because I'm about 15 minutes away from 2 hours. So I'm going to try to get through as many free readings as I can. If you do want me to make sure that I do get to your reading, I still will take donations and I'll complete them during this session. Just to let you know. So we got the 4 of Cups coming in here, Libra girl, and I feel like, they're planning something different, planning something unique. This is emotion, and I don't feel like they're in their head with it yet. I think it's just in emotional stages with the 4 of Cups, because they feel like whatever they're planning for you, it's like, these things, it's like these things are overdone, and they're wanting to do something unique, and that's all they know. They haven't, like, got up into their head, being Libra air sign, you're like, "Come on." But are they a water sign? I don't know. I feel like they have the emotion of wanting, they're desiring to do something, but they don't know what yet. They're like, "I wanna do something unique and different." Eh, and I feel like that's kinda where it's at right now, is that hasn't activated here, but they have a desire. It just hasn't formulated a plan yet, if that makes sense. So that's what's coming in for you, Libra girl. So enjoy it. You know, if you want something specific, you might kind of like, drop, you know, I don't not hints, but ideas, leave papers around. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think they would catch on anyway. You just have to let the artistic emotion do its thing with them. All right. So double, triple, quadruple X. You want to know what is coming in? Let's take a look here. All right. So we are switching back to the Light Seers Tarot. All right. So you have the Two of Pentacles. So there is this change in the outside world. We've got this balancing of things coming in. Like it's like this ebb and this flow. And I feel like there's been this flow maybe where we're drawn out into the human world and to all the fears and all of that fun stuff. And then we move up into seeing things from a higher perspective. So this is kind of maybe like extrovert, introvert, extrovert, introvert. And I feel like you're on an upswing into stepping back and looking at things to prepare for another, it's like the tides. It's everything has its purpose. Um, Tides coming in keep us from like launching things. It's like when we go into retrogrades with the planets. It's good because it with the waters coming in, it's a lot of effort and usually not successful to launch, out into the sea. So we spend time mending our nets, preparing for when the water goes back out. So it's reflection time is important. Otherwise, we keep repeating cycles, but the infinity symbol allows us to reflect and make changes, and then we have new experiences and we bring back in and do that. So I feel like that's what's coming in as a time of reflection for you, where you really reflect and learn a lot and start planning, preparing for the next launch of what moves outward in your life. It's like, we have divine feminine energy where we turn inward, and then divine masculine energy is action in the outside world, and then inward and outward and inward and outward. So that's what I feel is coming in there for you. So many blessings to you, double, triple, quadruple X. All right. And up next will be Kritika Malhotra for your free reading, but I do have a donation. So thank you so much. Blissful Breeze for your donation. And let me see here. If you haven't posted a question, do that. I'm just going to scroll up here and see. Oh, you did. So Blissful Breeze, you are up here. Whoops. So will the person that's harassing you receive their karma? Ooh. All right. Let's take a look here and see what Spirit has to say regarding this here. All right. So, yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for your donation. So, the Seven of Swords tells us here, you know, this swords are this, the Seven of Swords is all of these small t truths of fear. And, something that's interesting about life is, we do have whatever we focus our energy is what we draw into our lives. And so when individuals are expressing fears, they're drawing fearful things into their life and they're experiencing them, right? So if you're experiencing harassment, that's something to look at of what am I drawing into my life? What fears am I focusing on that are drawing in these lower vibrational experiences? So you can help stop it by focusing your energy differently, um, which is not your question, I know, but they're like throwing that in as a side of, when we're drawing stuff in, going, why is this coming into my life? Oop, what am I focusing on? Let me adjust my energy because I'm co creating my life. I'm going to focus on gratitude around things and, focus on unconditional love, enjoying laughter and peace. That'll draw in higher vibrational things into my life. So you can help make adjustments by going, I'm not going to focus on them to draw more of them into my life, because when I do, when I focus in on what I'm hating in my life, I'm telling the universe, I really enjoy hating these things. Can you bring more? Or I enjoy being harassed. Can you bring in more harassment? But instead, we focus on safety and protection and what I love in life, and what I point at what I want more of to come in, right? So a little side thing with that, because you have the high priestess, which is about our energy, what is bringing forward. I am the master of my power, right? So I feel like they just wanted to bring that in to empower you. But when this other person, when they are harassing, they are expressing their fears, and they will, as long as they are exuding that energy, as long as they are in fear and they're doing fearful things, they're gonna draw fearful stuff into their life too, until they don't. And then, you know, so it's kind of a deep question and a deep answer, because if they find peace of mind, the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. So they will have if they continue focusing on fearful things, they will draw fearful things in, and they will have it. But if they have peace of mind, if they move out of fear and they stop being harassing and a jerk or whatever, then they also start changing. So if they change their energy, they will draw different things in. If they continue on the path they are, they will get more of what they're doing, because they're telling the universe, I really enjoy this, if that makes sense. Okay, good. Thank you. So I like it. I like that, you know, we can not focus on them, because if we're focusing on them going, I hope they get what they deserve, we're going to get what we deserve too. Right. And it's like, oh, I'm grateful for what you're bringing into my life, and this and that and that. We'll get what we really want, not, the others. So I like it. Thank you for the question, though. I feel it's very important for all of us to be aware of that, because rather than wishing other people get there what's coming to them, and they were reminding me, when I was in organized religion, um, we were always like, I hope they get what's coming to them, and the universe and or creator was always like, just know that three fingers are pointing back at us. And here we go. So I like it. So that is what they have for you, Blissful Breeze. So thank you for your donation. Many blessings to you. Hey, love 1234. Thank you for your donation. Very good. And then nature, I believe. Yes, and then I also received your donation. So thank you. You'll be up next here after love 1234. And all right, so thank you for the donation. All right, so let's take a look here. So the question number one. All right, by the fall. Let's take a look here. So that's question. All right, question one. And then number two. Right. You're so funny. All right. And then number three. And number four. And number five. How did you know? I was about to say, and with any medical questions, this is just tarot, seek professional medical, etc., etc. Everyone makes their own decisions. Disclaimer made. All right. So number one, let's take a look here. Yeah. So we've got this slow moving night. So slowly, and the Nine of Swords is, this is insomnia, nightmare, letting the fears go. So this is like, yeah, you don't have to fear. It'll, this will move here. It's slow moving, but it does. But part of this also is about, you know, really focusing here, making sure you're taking time to self love and to step back, connect higher, right? Step into this unconditional love. I feel like some of this has to do with stress, right? Nine of Swords is stress, 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 stress. And there's like meditation, stepping up, connecting to higher love. This helps speed it up, right? Connecting to the higher love, because fear, when we're in fight or flight, impacts our bodies, right? It impacts and brings so much to us. It's just, with our immune system shutting down and our nervous system being flooded with stuff and blah, 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 all that stuff, right? So, again, it just feels like, a lot of so much in our life medically is stress related. And the more we can step out of fears and connect and be in this place of love, the less we have that happens, right? So I feel like that, but I do see it slowly happening. That it does happen here, but you can help it along by less stress. And then number two, I don't feel like this is a yes for that. I feel like this is seeing things from a different perspective. And here with the Nine of Pentacles, this is about being independent, standing like with your own information, with your own stuff. So I don't feel like I just feel like it's different than what you're thinking here. But I feel like you're secure here with the Nine of Pentacles. It's just like you're being solid and um I don't know. It just feels like see it from a different perspective. Stand on your head. And then you're like, "I don't see it." No. But, yeah, I feel like your new information, seeing things from a higher perspective. I don't feel it's that. Yeah, yeah. I don't, I I I I I feel this is stress related with the other stuff. And you might even with the Nine of Pentacles, it's they're in a garden. I almost feel like being aware of what's in your gut too, because it's about what you're eating, um, impacts so much of our skin. You know what I'm saying? So being aware of what you're eating and your gut health, I feel is coming in here, which is interesting. So that is what is for that one. And then number three, I don't feel it here. I feel the Six of Cups. The Five of Pentacles has to do with this, both of these going back to these feelings of being abandoned, being left out in the cold, being left behind. I feel it goes back to childhood here. And so I don't feel like that's a positive for number three. I feel like it feels emotional, with all of this energy here. So I feel like whatever's happening here, there is this deeper thing. If you're having any symptoms, um, we really look into these things. I don't know if you've ever looked into, and I don't know if I've mentioned this. I mention it every once in a while, but the beautiful, beautiful energy with Louise Hay. She's on the other side, but she brought a lot of stuff here, with what do we fear? What symptoms do we have of things that come up? And it's like really looking into, because it talks about, again, she has the medical disclaimer, but like, let's say if we looked up um, a specific, a specific energy, emotional energy around something. So the one, Yeah, or you can even search the internet because it's a lot out there, but it's a great book. It's really inexpensive, especially if you get it used. But like the specific one you asked about, it's the energy has to do with a giving up. Better to die than stand up for oneself. Anger and punishment. That's like the emotions that are behind it. And they have like affirmations that you can do too. It's I speak up for myself freely and easily. I claim my own power. I love and approve of myself. I am free and safe. So it's great. You can look at different things that are going on in our lives and, even like your first questions. And you can look at them and just see what, yeah. So the first, question that you had, that has to do with not accepting the self, dislike of self, and these can be subconscious. And then the new thought pattern that we can, the affirmation is, I am a divine expression of life. I love and accept myself where I am right now. It's great stuff. It just really is eye opening because it brings things in like, yep, that's true. You know, it's very interesting. Like, I had a friend who would having trouble with their thyroid, and the thyroid is, "When is it my turn?" And it's just like, wow, and it hit them so they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's like the core of everything that's going on with me." It's like, "When do I get a turn at this?" They were self-sacrificing. Like, "When's my turn?" And, it's great. Our bodies will communicate with us, and if we don't listen to them, they will show themselves in our bodies to get our attention more. So I like it. All right, so that's for everyone and for you. So that was number 3. Number 4, your August coming in here. We've got the 5 of Wands, which is a lot of fiery energy. Things that start off conflicting but turns into something great. So we like that energy that starts off as fear and then turns around of in power. And we like the 6 of Wands, victory, being seen here, being in the spotlight. So August is a good energy here coming in there. So I like it. Just let the fears transform into something victorious. Let the light, the fire, turn into spotlights instead, right? So I feel like don't let fear get the best of you. I feel like that's coming through a lot of these. Um, no, I don't see for number 5. We've got the Hermit card. So this is more home and focused in on your inner light, and movement of emotion. So I don't feel like that you go anywhere else before then. I just feel like you're more home-bodied, home-centered, and love-centered here with that. So boom, boom, boom. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Absolutely. And thank you so much for your multiple donation there. I appreciate that. All right. And then Nature 1133. Thank you so much for your donation. Let me just see if your question was on there. Nope. All right. So it must be up above. I think I saw you post a question. So let me scroll. Maybe. Okay, there it goes. All right. So you want to know, how does Liam feel about you? Are there romantic feelings? All right, Liam. Hello. All right, let's take a look here. What's going on with Liam? All right. So what we got here? All right. Well, there are both thoughts and emotions, but the thoughts are ruling over them here. Let me see. Did you say what sign they are? Nope. Because I feel like, with the Queen of Cups, that's deep emotion. She rolls over emotion. All the queens are given a second portion. So they got deep emotions. but I feel like their mind is the one who kinda rules over it. They kind of keep their emotions, way down here, down in the basement. But their mind, they have thoughts and they do think about you and there are emotions there. Will they admit them? Well, that is to be seen, but I feel like they will with the Sun card coming in here, because we've got the Sun and we've got Aries energy with the Emperor, who the Emperor eventually decides that they're tired of listening to everyone else and they're supposed tos and shoulds and need tos. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna do what I feel I wanna do, and then the light shines, then the fire energy comes in, and there's some sort of fire under their butt that gets them moving and expressing it here. So I feel like it's there, I just feel like it takes time for it to get to the surface. We got the 4 of Pentacles, which is this feeling of home, and I feel like they're something going on with their home now. Normally, that it's normally one of the energies is home with it, but I feel like they are super focused on having a solid foundation in the outside world. I feel like that's where their mind is at. Very much, I feel like they have a whatever influence from their childhood needing it to be a certain certain things have to happen. You have to have this security before you'll allow love in. And I just feel like there's a lot of um what do I want to say, pre-planning, preparation is the word I was looking for. A lot of preparation that needs to happen in them. This is their belief, preparation that you have to be prepared for love. You can't just have it. you know so it could be, that would make sense if, like, the energy I'm feeling is if when they were younger, if they were raised by a single mom or a single parent where um things didn't go well because of finances or security, and they had a very rough childhood, and they are like, I don't want, my partner to feel this way. I want to make sure it's a solid foundation. I feel like they're like, from maybe their mom, they learned a lot about security is the most important thing. Love comes later, security comes first. I almost feel like that was kind of their energy, because they got the King of Cups, balancing of heart and mind, which I feel will come. I like this coming in because it is like, yes, eventually their heart and mind balance, and then they express their heart. You can see the little energy shooting out from their heart center there, kind of. There it goes. So you can see how it's expressed. So I feel like they'll eventually do it, nature. It's just they've got that conditioning that they had, that I have to be prepared. I have to make sure I can, support someone and take care of someone, right? It is lovely um, that they feel like they want to do that, but it's almost a little unhealthy too. It's like, you don't have to take care of me, I want your love and we'll get through the rest of it together. That's like what our heart wants. Our head might also go like, yes, please have it prepared. I want to be taken care of. But that's funny. All right. So that's what they have for you, nature. So many, many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. Let me just make sure here. All right. That was the last of my donations there. Annoying. I know, right? Can't unbrainwash the child. All right. All right, I don't have any other donations, so I've hit my 2-hour mark. So, if anyone else wants to make a donation, all the free readings I'm done for today with the free ones. I will return this evening, though, in about 6 hours. So I shall come back. But for everyone else here, just to make sure, I do have a drawing every Monday. So you have 2 days left to get into the drawing. I have a 30-minute personal recorded reading that I'll be giving away on Monday. This video tells you all about how to get into that drawing. Also, right now I'm having a crazy Zen summer sale where I have my Hedge of Peace and Love on sale at half off. And then also my personal recorded readings at half off, and that's the information on those. All of this information is in the description box of the video if you need to come back to it. But this is how you book a reading or book a hedge. So I don't normally have them on sale. This is the first time I've had them on sale, and I just wanted to give back in the month of July. So I have it 50% off. And then each week I put out at least one pick a card reading, and this week's was how can I transform my sadness? I like it because Spirit talks about that it's okay to experience lower vibrational emotions. It's what we come here for. But when you're ready to transform it, boom, that's how you can do that. And I have a ton of other pick a cards on my main page. If you are not able to make a donation right now and you're needing answers, you can also pop over there and I've got like love, abundance, life purpose, career, different pick a cards. So just follow your heart and spirit will guide you there. All of those are free as well. And then we also have a new whoops take 10 with Zen that came out yesterday, which every week I put out a video, at least for the last 5 weeks. I have 10 minutes or less. We talk about how to connect to spirit or your higher self or your power, and I answer questions from my subscribers. So be sure to check that out. In the playlist, we talked about dimensions and we talked about higher self and we talked about is love real. Last week is just fate exist. And then this one was what influences on fate. And next week is going to be um, is our death fated? So be sure to check that out. Hey, Sugar, no, all free readings are done. I'm only finishing up any donations, but I will be back at 6 o'clock if you're looking for free readings. Also, check out my playlist if you're wanting some messages from Spirit too. All right. So, last call for any donations before we close out this session. And I shall return, like I said, in about 6 hours. Normally, I'll put out like a little ad or an announcement when I reserve the stream. I'm been doing it an hour, but things have been disappearing. So I've been doing it like 45 minutes or half hour before instead. So about 30 minutes before you, if you have subscribed, if you go into your notification settings, select all, then you'll get notified before the stream starts. You can actually jump in and put your question early too. But I'm going to probably start to do it about a half hour before, because like I said, YouTube's been having chats disappear. So at least a half hour before I can watch and grab screenshots just to make sure I capture everything. But I think that's it. So no more donations. We will close out this session. And please know that I'm so grateful for all the thumbs up that you give in the video. It does help spread the Zen love. So thanks for being part of the love tsunami. And just know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day of your life, you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you guys again, much love to you. You have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you're at in the world. Until then, much love. You hang in there and you take care. We'll see you.